Stop. Don't blink. Don't scroll. Don't test this moment. Because 99% of people will never hear what you're about to hear. Not because it's hidden, but because they won't stay long enough. Aquarius. This isn't motivation. This isn't hype. This isn't coincidence. This is interruption energy. Something big is moving behind the scenes right now. Not tomorrow, not someday, right now. A decision was made about you, without your permission, without your awareness, without a warning. And here's the part that should make your heart race. If you ignore this message, you don't lose forever, but you delay what was already lined up. Yes, delay your miracle. Most Aquarius will laugh this off. Most Aquarius will click away. Most Aquarius will say, "I'll watch later." And that's exactly why they won't get it. Because only chosen ones feel that strange pressure in their chest right now. Only chosen ones feel that pull, saying, "Wait, this is different." If you're still here, you didn't find this video. This video found you. Comment, "I'm ready right now," not later, not at the end, right now. Because when you comment, you're not talking to me. You're signaling alignment. Now listen carefully. What's coming next is not gentle, it's not slow, and it's definitely not comfortable. But here's the twist. The good news you've been waiting for is coming fast. But it arrives after a shock. Yes, a shock. Something unexpected. Something that feels like a disruption. Something that makes you think, "Wait, what just happened?" And that's where most people panic. They mistake the shock for failure. They mistake the interruption for loss. They mistake the delay for rejection. But Aquarius, this shock is the signal. It's the universe clearing space, breaking patterns, removing what you've outgrown but were still emotionally attached to. That's why this message feels intense. That's why your intuition is loud right now. That's why this doesn't feel like a normal horoscope. Because this isn't for everyone. This is for the ones who've been tested in silence, misunderstood without explanation, delayed without reason, strong without recognition. You didn't struggle because you were weak. You struggled because you were being prepared. And here's the part nobody tells Aquarius. When your breakthrough is close, everything around you starts acting strange. People change. Plans collapse. Energy shifts. Silence gets louder. That's not bad luck. That's final clearance. Something is about to exit your life, so something bigger can enter. But you must stay alert, because January 14th carries decision energy, not your decision, someone else's. Someone who controls access. Someone who once doubted you. Someone who didn't think you'd last this long. They're watching. They're noticing. They're realizing something too late. And that realization triggers movement. That's why this message feels urgent. That's why your spirit feels restless. That's why you can't fully relax lately. You're standing at the edge of a timeline split. One path repeats the old cycle. The other launches you into a new level, mentally, emotionally, financially. And here's the scary part. Both paths look similar at first. Same people, same routine, same environment. But one leads to stagnation. The other leads to sudden elevation. That's why this sign matters. That's why you were pulled here. That's why this video showed up when it did. Stay till the end, because number 6 is not soft. Number 6 will expose a truth, trigger fear, force a release. And then it blesses you in a way you didn't expect. Some of you will feel chills. Some of you will feel emotional for no clear reason. Some of you will feel nervous, like something is about to happen. That's because it is. Aquarius. You don't need to believe everything. You just need to pay attention. If you're still watching, comment, "I'm ready again." Yeah, again. Because repetition is confirmation. Now breathe, stay focused, and don't move, because what comes next is where everything changes. Aquarius. January 14th is not quiet energy. It's message energy, not the kind you chase, not the kind you refresh your phone for, the kind that shows up unexpectedly and instantly flips the direction of your life. A text you weren't waiting for, a call at a strange time, an email with a subject line that makes your heart stop, a conversation that starts casual and ends life-changing. This message doesn't just update you, it repositions you. And here's why this matters. For a long time, you've been sitting in a delay that wasn't caused by laziness, lack of talent, or bad choices. It was caused by someone else's hesitation, someone else's fear, someone else's misjudgment. But that delay is expiring. January 14th activates a truth someone can't hold in anymore. Someone finally admit they were wrong about you. They underestimated your value. They didn't think you'd survive without them. And now they realize they can't move forward without you. This isn't an apology message. This is a realization message. The kind that comes when someone looks around and notices the gap you left. The silence, the missing piece. Aquarius, you were doing more than you were given credit for, holding more than you were thanked for, carrying more than you were supposed to. And now, the weight shift. This news fixes a delay that wasn't your fault. You didn't miss your moment. Your moment was waiting for permission, and that permission just arrived. Comment, it's coming if your intuition is already buzzing. Now listen carefully, because this is where most people misunderstand what's happening. But here's the twist. This message doesn't come when you're watching your phone. It doesn't arrive when you're desperate. It doesn't show up when you're emotionally open. It comes when you're distracted, when you're focused on yourself, when you've mentally let go, when you've stopped chasing answers. That's how you'll know it's real. Because forced things announce themselves early. Aligned things arrive silently and suddenly. The moment this message hits, you'll feel it in your body before your mind catches up. A pause, a deep breath, a wait, what? Moment. And then, clarity. This message brings information you didn't have, context you were missing, a perspective that explains why things happened the way they did. You'll realize why it had to fall apart, why it couldn't move forward before, why you had to wait longer than others, not as punishment, but as preparation. This message also comes with a choice, not spoken out loud, but felt. Do you step back into the situation, or do you step into a higher position? Because Aquarius, you're not returning as the same version. You're returning with boundaries, leverage, awareness, control, and the person sending this message knows it. That's why the tone feels different. That's why there's respect now. That's why they choose their words carefully. They know they don't have the upper hand anymore. This could be a job reaching back out, a person realizing your absence, a door reopening with better terms, a conversation that changes your role. But here's the danger. If you respond from your old mindset, you repeat the cycle. If you respond from your new awareness, you rewrite the story. That's why this message doesn't rush you. It gives you time to think, time to breathe, time to decide. Aquarius. Power isn't about being needed. Power is about being chosen again, consciously. And this time, you're choosing too. Comment, it's coming again if you're ready to respond differently than before. Because this message is only the beginning. It sets off a chain reaction. It unlocks the next door. It triggers the next 5 pieces. But it all starts here with one message, one moment, one realization that changes everything. And if this resonated, stay close. Aquarius. This is not random money. This is not luck. This is not a surprise check falling from the sky for no reason. This is corrected money, money that was already meant for you, but got stuck behind paperwork, stuck behind fear, stuck behind someone else's indecision, stuck behind a system that moved too slow, and now it's moving. January 14th activates financial release energy, not new hustle energy, not work harder energy, not desperation energy. This is unblocking energy. A delayed payment finally clears. An approval that kept getting pushed suddenly goes through. An opportunity you thought expired reopens. Someone who kept saying maybe suddenly says yes. And when it happens fast. No warning, no long explanation, just movement. The universe removes a blocker, a person, a system, or a mindset that was slowing your abundance. Here's what most people don't understand. Money doesn't avoid you when you're unworthy. Money avoids you when something is out of alignment. And Aquarius, alignment just snapped into place. You didn't chase this. You didn't beg for this. You didn't lower your standards for this. You outgrew the resistance. Comment, money unlocked if you're ready to receive without guilt, because that's important. For a long time, you were trying to prove yourself, over-explaining, over-giving, overworking, and the universe watched. Then something changed. You got tired, you pulled back, you stopped emotionally needing the outcome, and that's when the lock loosened. But here's the twist. This money doesn't arrive when you're stressed. It doesn't come when you're obsessing. It doesn't show up when you're watching the clock. It comes after you emotionally detach. The same ones who hesitated now follow up. The same ones who undervalued you now recalculate. Why? Because energy speaks louder than words. You stopped chasing, so they started paying attention. This money also comes with proof. Proof that you weren't crazy, you weren't wrong to wait, you weren't foolish to trust your timing. It validates a choice you made in silence. And here's another layer. This isn't just cash, it's leverage. It gives you options. Breathing room, confidence. It removes a pressure you've been carrying alone. And with that pressure gone, your next move becomes cleaner, smarter, bolder, more intentional. But don't rush, because this money is a signal, not the finish line. It's telling you you're back in flow. You're supported again. You're no longer blocked. And once flow returns, it keeps building, as long as you don't fall back into old patterns. Aquarius, don't apologize for receiving. Don't shrink because things improve. Don't explain your upgrade to people who didn't help build it. Comment, money unlocked one more time. Repetition locks the intention. Because this is only good news number 2. What comes next isn't about money, it's about access. And once access opens, everything accelerates. Aquarius, that door you couldn't open before, it didn't close because you failed. It didn't shut because you weren't good enough. It didn't lock because you missed your chance. It closed to protect you, not punish you. At the time, it felt unfair, confusing, almost personal. You questioned yourself. You replayed conversations. You wondered what you could have done differently. But now the truth is surfacing. That door closed because you would have accepted less than you deserved. You didn't have enough leverage yet. You were still negotiating from emotion, not power. And the universe refused to let you walk into something that would have drained you. Now, everything is different. That same door is reopening, but under new terms. Not their rules, not old expectations, not uneven dynamics. This time, you walk in with more power. You walk in with better control. You walk in knowing exactly who you are. This could show up as a career path reviving with a higher role, a relocation plan, restarting with better support, a collaboration returning with respect, a personal breakthrough you once thought was gone forever. And here's the key part. You are not returning as the old version. Comment, I've changed if you feel that inner shift. Because you didn't just wait, you evolved. You learned how to say no without guilt. You learned how to pause before reacting. You learned how to see through intentions, not just words. That growth changed everything. But here's the twist. Someone who doubted you is forced to watch your rise, not from a distance, not through rumors, up close. Someone who thought you'd come back desperate, you'd lower your standards, you'd accept whatever they offered. But that's not what happens. You come back calm, centered, unrushed, and that unsettles them, because they expected the old Aquarius, the one who over-explained, over-gave, over-tolerated. But that version is gone. This door reopening also exposes a truth. They needed you more than you needed them. That's why the timing feels different. That's why the energy feels respectful. That's why they suddenly listen. Aquarius, doors don't reopen for people who stay the same. They reopen for people who outgrow the room. And that's exactly what you did. You outgrew the role. You outgrew the limits. You outgrew the fear that once held you back. Now, this opportunity tests you in a new way. Not, can you handle rejection? But can you handle power? Because when you walk through this door again, you're seen differently. You're not asking for permission. You're setting terms. You're not chasing validation. You're choosing alignment. And here's where it gets serious. If you try to play small, the door won't stay open. If you step in fully, confidently, it expands. That's why the universe waited. That's why the delay happened. So when this door opened again, you wouldn't walk in as a guest. You'd walk in as an equal, or better. Aquarius. This is redemption energy, not revenge, not ego, just quiet, undeniable elevation. And the ones who doubted you, they don't get an explanation. They get a front row seat. Comment, I've changed one more time because repetition seals the shift. This is only good news number 3. The next one doesn't open a door. It changes how you think forever. Door fire, Aquarius. This is the moment where the fog disappears. Not slowly, not gently, not over time, fast. 1 second you're questioning everything. The next second you know. You know what to do. You know what to stop doing. You know who no longer fits. And what shocks you most? The peace. No racing thoughts. No emotional tug of war. No replaying old conversations in your head. Just clarity. This is not overthinking energy. This is mental upgrade energy. Something in your mind recalibrates. The noise shuts off. The signal gets stronger. Suddenly, you stop second-guessing yourself. You don't ask 10 people for opinions. You don't need reassurance. You don't wait for signs outside of yourself. You trust your inner voice again. And that changes everything. Because with clarity comes decisiveness. You cut conversations short. You say no without explaining. You don't argue with confusion anymore. You simply move. Aquarius. This clarity isn't emotional, it's surgical. It helps you see who's consistent, who's performative, who's draining you quietly, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. That's why this shift feels intense. You're no longer available for mixed signals, fake promises, energy vampires. You don't chase clarity anymore. You demand alignment. Comment, clear mind if you're done tolerating nonsense. Now here's the part most people aren't ready for. But here's the twist. This clarity will cost you some people. And that's not a loss. That's the blessing. Because clarity exposes what confusion was hiding. Some people benefited from you being unsure. Some people felt comfortable when you doubted yourself. Some people thrived when you kept giving chances. And now they feel the shift. Your tone changes. Your responses shorten. Your energy feels unavailable, not angry, not cold, just selective. And that scares people who were never aligned, only attached. Aquarius. You're not cutting people off emotionally. You're cutting them off mentally. You stop explaining. You stop justifying. You stop hoping they'll understand. You simply choose differently. This clarity also reveals something uncomfortable. Not everyone who walked with you was meant to go with you. Some were lessons, some were mirrors, some were temporary assignments. And once clarity hits, the assignment ends. You may notice fewer conversations, more silence, less emotional chaos, and more peace than you felt in a long time. That's how you know it's real. Because chaos leaves when clarity enters. This mental upgrade also affects your future decisions. You don't rush anymore. You don't react emotionally. You don't commit without alignment. You pause. You observe. You choose. And here's the dangerous part. Dangerous for people who underestimated you. With clarity, you stop being predictable. You no longer react the way they expect. You no longer fold under pressure. You no longer explain your standards. You simply walk away from what doesn't match. Aquarius. This is what power feels like. Quiet, focused, unshakable, no announcement, no drama, no revenge, just clarity-driven movement. Comment, clear mind, one more time if you feel this shift settling in. Because once clarity arrives, there's no going back. This is good news number 4. And what's coming next? It doesn't change your mind. It changes your emotional reality. Aquarius. Someone didn't think you'd really walk away. They thought you'd pause. They thought you'd cool down. They thought you'd come back like before. But you didn't. And now they feel the void. Not the dramatic kind, not the loud kind, the quiet, uncomfortable kind. Regret realization. Truth hitting late. They notice it in the silence, in moments where your presence used to soften things, in situations where your support used to carry weight. And here's the truth. They didn't appreciate you when you were available. They only realized your value when you were gone. Aquarius. You were doing more emotional labor than you realized. Listening, understanding, holding space, forgiving. And when you stepped back, the imbalance was exposed. That's when reality hit them. They replay conversations. They remember things you said that they ignored. They feel the shift in energy, and it bothers them. Not because they miss control, but because they miss you. And here's the part that changes everything. Whether they return or not, you win. Because you're no longer emotionally available to chaos. You don't feel the urge to explain yourself anymore. You don't feel the need to prove your worth. You don't feel responsible for fixing things that weren't yours to fix. That's growth. Comment, I know my worth, if you feel this shift in your heart. Now listen closely. This doesn't mean you stopped caring. It means you stopped over-caring. You stopped bleeding for people who wouldn't bandage you. You stopped adjusting for people who wouldn't meet you halfway. You stopped sacrificing peace for temporary connection. And that's when the dynamic flipped. Because absence is loud when someone took you for granted. They start to wonder why you're not reaching out, why you're not reacting, why you seem calmer without them, and that scares them. Because they realize you didn't lose them, they lost access to you. But here's the twist. Their return happens when you no longer need it. Not when you're lonely, not when you're waiting, not when you're hoping. It happens when you've emotionally moved on, when your life feels full again, when your peace is stable, when your confidence is quiet but strong. That's when they show up with apologies, explanations, regret disguised as concern, and Aquarius. This is where your power is tested, because the old version of you would rush to fix things. The new version of you pauses. You don't reject them harshly. You don't accept them instantly. You observe. You ask yourself, does this align with who I am now? Does this cost my peace? Is this real change or temporary fear? And for the first time, you choose yourself without guilt. That's why this is good news. Because even if they return, you're not the same person they left. You don't chase closure. You don't need validation. You don't reopen doors out of nostalgia. You move with clarity and self-respect. Aquarius. Some people are only meant to feel your absence, not regain your presence. And that's okay, because what's meant for you will meet you where you are now, not where you used to be. Comment, I know my worth one more time. This seals the lesson. This is good news number 5. And what's coming next? It's not about them. It's not about the past. It's about you being chosen for something bigger. And that changes everything. This is the one most people aren't ready to hear. Not because it's complicated, but because it's confronting. Aquarius, you weren't lucky. You were chosen. And there's a big difference. Luck is random. Luck comes and goes. Luck doesn't explain pain. But being chosen explains everything you went through. You were chosen for checkmark elevation, not comfort. Checkmark protection, not popularity. Checkmark a different timeline, not the average path. That's why your life didn't follow the script. That's why things were harder for you than for others who seemed less aware, less capable, less prepared. That's why. Life tested you harder. People misunderstood your intentions. You felt out of place even in familiar rooms. You had to walk alone when others had support. It wasn't punishment, it was qualification. Aquarius. Not everyone can handle power. Not everyone can hold awareness. Not everyone can move forward without losing themselves. That's why the pressure was heavy. You were being shaped quietly. And now comes the moment that changes everything. January 14th marks a timeline split. This is not symbolic. This is energetic. From this point forward, one of two things happens. You stay on the old timeline, repeating lessons, cycles, and emotional loops. Or you step into the new timeline, where effort meets flow, where respect replaces struggle, where alignment replaces chasing. And here's how you'll know you've crossed over. You don't chase anymore. You attract. You don't convince. You confirm. You don't explain. You allow. Opportunities start finding you. People approach you differently. Situations resolve without force. Not because you became louder, but because you became clear. Aquarius. Chosen ones don't need to announce themselves. Their energy speaks first. That's why you were misunderstood. That's why people projected onto you. That's why you were judged without being known. You weren't meant to be understood early. You were meant to be recognized later. And recognition is coming. But here's the warning most people ignore. Being chosen doesn't mean life gets easier. It means life gets more precise. You can't lie to yourself anymore. You can't stay where you've outgrown. You can't lower your standards to fit in. Because once you step onto the chosen timeline, everything misaligned starts to fall away. And yes, that includes people. But what replaces them is alignment, clarity, and momentum. That's why this moment feels intense. Your nervous system feels it. Your intuition feels it. Your spirit feels it. This is activation. And activation requires acknowledgement. Comment all 5 times below. Don't skip. 1. I am chosen to accept your role. 2. My time is now to release delay. 3. I trust this sign to align with timing. 4. Energy accepted to stop resisting. 5. January 14th changed me to lock the timeline. Yes, all 5. Because repetition is intention made physical. Now listen carefully. This is the final warning. Final warning, strong close. Aquarius. If you felt chills, this message was for you. If your heart raced, this wasn't random. If your focus locked in, this wasn't entertainment. Ignore this message. You don't lose it. You delay momentum. Acknowledge it. You accelerate miracles. The universe responds to awareness, not excuses. Subscribe, like, comment, share. Because what's coming next isn't gentle, it isn't subtle, and it isn't for everyone. What's coming next will shock even you.